Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Matt Latter and today we'll be continuing our Pillars of Eternity Let's Play series. So, after last episode I thought a bit about what to do next, and for now I've decided on the following. Oh wow, sorry for that one. So first I'm going to continue exploring Elm's Reach and then probably Old Song. But after that, before we continue with the main story, I would like actually to go for one back to Cape Nua, do a couple levels of the Endless Paths, and then deal with the White March Part 1 before we are entirely over-leveled for it. Just so it can still be fun, I hope. So yeah, let's do that. We have currently explored nearly everything here in Elm's Reach. I still want to go to the Bloodsands and see what this is about. What's going on here? A warrior and tribeswoman, okay. Okay, nothing we can interfere with. Give me a moment, please. Okay. Man, that coughing really got to my throat there for a moment. Supplicants. Okay, let's go into the Bloodsands. I mean, it already sounds highly violent, but let's see what it is really about. Keeper Garrost. The Ethic Null welcome your presence, supplicants. Essence taken by force may sustain one, but essence given freely empowers many. So, blood magic, anyone? Let's talk to Garrett. A dwarven man stands, motionless, near the roaring fire that lights the cavern. Your sacrifice feeds the land, supplicants. Come forth. A guest of smoke curls around him, licking his charred flesh that bulges on his forearms. They suddenly flex. Estramor. The dwarf holds his fist in tight grip. Your kin doesn't come here to share with the tribes. What do you want? What's this place? Bloodsands. The dwarf picks one of the scarred forearms. Picks on his scarred forearms. His guttural sigh mingles with the crackling of wood and the bones behind him. As I said, Estramor rarely visit our halls. The Glenfathans call this place Bloodsands. We call it home. The Ethic Null have tended to the land from within this cave since before the arrival of the tribes to Twin Elms. Garrett crosses his arms. Be warned, Estramor. We bleed life to nurture it. Our sacrifices may strike you as savage, but the health of these lands depends on them, and it's unseemly for guests to insult their hosts. Okay. Tell me of these sacrifices. Garrett spreads his stocky legs apart and locks his forearms. Everything must die to return anew, Estramor. Through the sacrificial rites, we offer supplicants the honor of giving their most precious gift back to their brethren, back to the land. The dwarf lifts his fists, thick and mottled by red scars. The blood gives us strength. Even the Glenfathans have come to depend on the blood paint. They brim with power before battle, all thanks to the sacrifices of their kin. Okay, so people come here to basically sacrifice themselves and donate blood, apparently. And that empowers others and the land, it seems. Okay, tell me about the Ethic Null. Our order has thrived for generations. Before we came to Twin Elms, our rites fed the lands of the Eastern Mountains. Now we share the blood for Glenfath. Garrett opens his palms. Strikes of red skin run through them like flame. To everything that must end, our sacrifices bring a new beginning. He looks up. We sustain what's to come. Remember, Estramor, you're a guest in these halls. Respect our ways and we'll tolerate your presence among us. Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Okay, smoke curls up from these charred skeletons. The smell is nauseating. There's Talon. Name character, so we can likely speak to him. Before we do that though, let's explore a little. Another keeper and a barrel here. This is more spacious than I thought it might be. Another keeper. Keeperada. Alright, she was the one who would sacrifice the child. No real interest in talking with her then. Some random earth blights and the chanter. What do we have here? The bravest sons and daughters fall not by the sword of Estramorn, but by the daggers of their brethren. Well, if you say so. Or supplicants. They all want to die for their clan, it seems. Aha.
Steady does it. Hey.
Let's be cheeky. Oh, doesn't work.
Hey.
Wanted to close it again from the outside.
Your thoughts must flow deeply indeed.
Okay, let's give this a quick save. I want to see what they're hiding in here. Yep.
Just like an adherent to go down fast.
Maybe I should have done that first.
Laying low.
Yo, being sensible and all. Well, he can trigger it, so let's go outside and do that then.
Can't stand much longer.
Ouch. Okay, now we bring the grieving mother back in. Bundles of swift action. 15% attack speed. And here we have Blood Testament. Okay, for monks. But yeah, this was mostly just curiosity. Where's our quick save here? Because once again, I'm a kind wayfarer, I don't steal. Was just very interested there for a moment. And this time I had to give in to my inner exploration nerd. So let's back out again. And keep looking. Yeesh. Yeah. That looks very much Aztec-like. In what you commonly see described as Aztec, not that is probably all that close to reality, I guess. Essence within to nurture flesh, and essence without to strengthen it.
Aye.
The heat emanating from this pool threatens to singe the flesh of your face. And they have devised a large number of ways to kill people. More chests. The gift of sacrifice transmutes blood into water and essence into power. Just as the flesh of the one nourishes many, the sacrifice freely made strengthens those... Yeah, too fast. The blood of sacrifice waters the soil of Eaglanfirth. Yeah, okay, they are in a certain way certainly barbaric with that. Oh hey, another character to talk to, Naka. The petitioner before you is swaddled in loose-fitting robes. Her hair is greasy and matted. A glossy film of sweat and grime coats her exposed skin. She has the swollen features of pregnancy and several missing teeth in her big, grinning smile. As you approach, she slowly turns to you and examines you from head to toe, smiling the entire time. "Joyous day to you," she says. Despite coming from a wearied body, her voice sounds resonant and relaxed. "I'm Naka, midwife and lawkeeper." Her hands run across her slight bulge in her belly. She rolls her head back and sighs a relaxed purr. Kinda freaky? Are you feeling well? "Flawless," she replies. "Apologies, I should be left to my meditation. The rite of strength is invigorating, almost overwhelming to the senses." She reaches down and cradles her belly in her hands and turns away. Yeah, that's kind of creepy. So was she given some of the blood as power or something? Seems to be what they're implying here. So now we make our way back to the actual sacrificial chamber here. I'll see if I can talk to someone. Let's give it another safety save.
As your blood flows, so shall your essence. Your life's energy shall feed the soil, and your soul's energy shall enrich the community. This is by your own choosing, supplicant?
Yes, the elf's voice is high but even. The dwarf grips a hatchet with both hands and raises it over his head. He throws his shoulders forward and swings the weapon to the elf's chest, connecting with a meaty thump. Blood gushes around the blade, and the sacrifice's screams rend the air. Elf's lips curl with disgust. This is why I prefer the wand to the blade. Despite his earlier agreement, the elf thrashes atop the stone table, his torso arcing while his arms and legs remain tight in place. Meanwhile, the dwarf spreads his arms wide and allows the blood to splatter his robes. When the elf is finally silent and still, the dwarf pulls his hatchet from the body and wipes it on his hem. Yeah, that is most certainly fucked up. The dwarf wears crimson robes that are stained and streaked with dark patches. His face is smooth but lacking youthful elasticity. Yeah, that's a word. It's as if the lines and wrinkles have been formed and erased many times over. He watches you with eyes like two black pits as he wipes his hatchet on his robes. Hey, Listramor.
No one comes to Bloodsands without a purpose. What is yours?
Who are you?
I am the archdruid of the Ethic Null. For centuries it has been my duty to guide our rituals and guard our knowledge. It is work that requires a certain resilience, but it is not without its benefits.
Reston's eerily smooth face is motionless as he watches you. Tell me more about the Ethic Null. We are a druidic order that has been in Twin Elms since Ingwithan times. Our founders came from the White March, seeking a place where we might practice our beliefs in peace, as it were. Unlike most of our Glenfathan brethren, we seek answers in the world around us rather than the teachings of the gods. We believe that all life has power, and that this power can be siphoned and conducted. We are not, as some suggest, madmen and murderers. All of our rituals are conducted with willing participants and through methods that have been tested and refined over centuries. He nods, his black eyes shining. This allows us to create the war pain for which we are respected, if not loved. Okay. Tell more about those sacrifices. A guttural laugh rumbles from his throat. We merely believe that, in giving up something of value, the energy from that sacrifice can be diverted elsewhere. It is not so different from what folk practice all over the world. If you want to turn the soil, sail a ship, or move a cart, you must expend energy. He smooths his robes. But we're best known for our practice of kith sacrifice. This is the most potent form of sacrifice because it releases the most energy. We distill the essence of an entire soul into raw power that can strengthen the body, fortify the soul, and extend life. Okay. About that war paint then. A special unguent binding raw essence to the wearer. It grants incredible advantages in combat and has made us indispensable to the tribes. Whatever they say about our practices, almost all of them have made use of a war paint at some time or another. A slow smile spreads across his face. Fascinating indeed how the most strident objections can be overcome by circumstance. No, I'd not like to buy war paint. So how are you different from the Ovates then? A dry laugh rasped from his throat. Golden Grove. I remember when Arona came up with that name. It gives you a darkly gleeful look. Used to be as green as the rest of the forest, you know. We're more similar than they'd like to admit. We both believe in achieving power without the double-edged aid of the gods. But their fantasy is pure creation. Something from nothing. They blind themselves to the fact that all life, from the mightiest dragon to the slimmest blade of grass, requires death. And the greatest ends require the greatest sacrifice. Yeah, some sacrifices are simply too costly. Many agree with you, and many float from one life to the next, living out a finite stock of years and accomplish nothing. Yeah, that's all I want to know. Bye-bye. Those are some creepy-ass druids. Holy shit, are they ever. Okay, let's move to the front room. There was another guy we could talk with, I think. Talon. Let's say hello. Well, not a proper talk. So let's go out again. Man, Ethicnol and the Bloodsands, they are some creepy motherfuckers. Well, at least now I am 110 billion% sure that I will not bring the child here.
You'd have better odds against a Stelgar.
Always with the cats here.
Did you hear that? About our awakenings being permanent?
Yes, I did, Aloth. Let's talk about that.
If those Delamgon are right, you and I are stuck with our awakenings. Not quite the news I was hoping for.
Yeah, I'm concerned about you. How are you taking this?
Oh, the knowledge that a barely civilized bumpkin will share my mind and body for the rest of my life? That's kind of you to ask. I'd always believed that Isilmir was an ailment I could cure myself of one day. But now, to think she'll be around forever.
Yeah, she's not that bad.
Overstarched tunics, burnt toast, Rawatai sherry, those are not that bad. But having a stranger pop in and out of your head at will, it's unpleasant, I assure you.
And on the bright side, I've got plenty of time to figure out how to deal with her. Yeah. I like that one. Like it or not, she's part of you. And she could be a source of strength if you learn to work with her.
It's strange. I've lived with her most of my life, and I've always seen her as an adversary. It should have occurred to me the day she stood up to my father. But there's something about being too close to a situation to see it clearly. It will be a relief to stop fighting her.
That's the spirit. Even as he says it, something struggles within him. The muscles in his face twitch and his skin quivers. His eyes roll back in his skull, exposing slivers of white. Sweat beads and glistens? Oh, sweat beads and glistens on his forehead. After several seconds, he sighs and looks back at you. That wasn't as difficult as I expected. I think deep down, I'd always hoped to find a solution elsewhere. When I was a child, I always thought my mother would come home with a mysterious cure, or that my father, without knowing it, could somehow send her away just as he'd called her forth. I can't pretend that I didn't spend years of my arcane training hoping that one of my instructors would have the answers somewhere in his grimoire. When I joined the Latin Key, I hoped and I believed that, with enough loyal service, I'd gain the ear of someone in the organization who could help me. Even when I met you and realized your unique talents, I hoped that you might be able to reach into my soul the way I've seen you do with so many others. I'd been looking for someone else to solve my problems, and now I realize that I've got to face it on my own. Yeah, I've been with you the whole way. I still am.
That means a great deal to me. Truly. That reminds me of something else the Delamgon said. About the gods not being real.
He says it quietly, as if afraid someone might overhear him. Yeah, I didn't know what they meant.
It's just... I can't help but worry at the state we'd be in if that was somehow true. If there were no power guiding us in this life and shepherding us to the next.
Huh. Well, I'm sure we'd find our way on our own.
I hope you're right.
Okay. While we're stopped, let's discuss something else then. So you've made peace with Isilmir. What's that like? Relaxing, more so than I expected. As contentious as she is, I imagined that letting her in would merely unleash the torrent. But now that I'm not fighting her, it seems she isn't fighting me. And you were right. I found much to learn from her. Well, that's good. Okay. Man, my throat is killing me today. So yeah, on that note then, I'll also end this episode. I do thank you all for watching, hope you've had some fun. I certainly know I won't be going to the Bloodsands if I can somehow circumvent it. So yeah, if you did like it, you know, commenting, liking, subscribing, every bit helps. I'd be happy about it. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you the next time.